So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the signal being generated by a GSM base station. In fact, it's a GSM femto BTS, so that's a very small GSM base station that's positioned about 4 feet away from the analyzer. It's not cabled directly to it, and instead the analyzer is connected to a small antenna about 3 inches tall that's just out of view. So if we take a look at the analyzer screen, we can see that the span is 3 gigahertz at present. So that's 1.5 gigahertz in the centre of the screen, just to the right of which there's a fairly strong signal. And that's the signal being generated by our base station. Now if we want to move that to the centre of the screen, what we can do is a peak search. So we press the peak search button. That's placed a marker above that signal, and what we can do then is press the marker to centre button that will move that into the centre of the screen. Now I happen to know that the centre frequency for this GSM carrier is 1810.8 megahertz. So if we want to centre in much more accurately, we can manually enter that frequency. So we press the frequency button, and then we enter 1810.8 megahertz. There we are. Now if we go back to, if we press the span button, we can see there that the analyzer span is still very wide. It's just under 2.4 gigahertz. So to get a better look at that carrier, we can reduce the span. So let's start with, say, 100 megahertz. Let's reduce it down to 100 megahertz. So as you can see, that's given us a much better view of the signal of interest. We can actually go a little bit better than that, so let's change the span to 1 megahertz. So if we look at the top of the screen again, we can see where it says marker 1, it says 1810.8 megahertz, and the signal level at the input to the analyzer is, well, it's moving around. It's remember, this is a GSM signal, so it's GMSK, Gaussian minimum shift keying modulation, and then on top of which there's TDMA multiplexing. So this is obviously not as steady a signal as something you get out of a simple signal generator. In any case, if we look at the top of the screen, we can see that the received signal level into the analyzer is around -40, -50 dBm. Now, if we'd like to get a better idea of the spectral mask, the shape of this signal, what we can do is we can press the trace button and then press peak hold. And as you can see, that allows us to get a much better view of the signal. When we're finished, we can press the clear button to return to normal mode. And there we are.